Hi guys, this is Thursday, April 2nd. Oh look, Thomas is going to join us for our call today. Hi Thomas. I know you're so excited. All right guys, well, back to what I was here to kind of tell you guys. I thought since today's beautiful outside, I highly encourage you to go outside and do something fun today. Go outside and take a walk. Maybe you have your own little puppy you want to walk. Make sure you go take them outside today at some point. I know personally I was feeling a little bit like Rapunzel, being locked away in our houses and not doing things. So today I thought it'd be great to wear my Rapunzel ears. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see that it actually has like yellow yarn that's braided to look like Rapunzel's hair, and then they have her little lizard. So one of my favorite Disney movies, Tangled, that's probably up there with Beauty and the Beast for me. So make sure you can check that movie out if you haven't either. But today I figured a great read aloud that we're going to work on, and Thomas is like, nope, we're not going to be on camera, is we're going to continue our read aloud of Matilda. So if you didn't watch Tuesday's video, make sure you go back and check that out, because that was the chapter right before. It's about Bruce Bogtrotter. And if we remember, Bruce Bogtrotter was actually the kid who stole Miss Trunchable's cake, and she forced him to eat all of that cake. And she was not happy because she didn't think he could actually do it, but he did. And the audience definitely was rooting on for Bruce, so she was not happy that the whole school was cheering him on. So Thomas, I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready to read our next chapter. What do you think, pup? I think that'd be great. So our next chapter is called Lavender. And so Lavender, don't forget, she is Matilda's, one of her closest friends in Miss Honey's class. So I wonder what's going to happen to her. Why don't you turn and tell the person next to you what you think is going to happen? All right, I think you told them long enough. All right, let's keep reading. All right. In the middle of the first week of Matilda's first term, Miss Honey said to the class, "I have some important news for you, so listen carefully. You too, Matilda. Put that book down for a moment and pay attention." Small, eager faces looked up and listened. "It's the headmistress's custom," Miss Honey went on, "to take over the class for one period each week," meaning she was going to come in and teach for 1 hour each week. "She does this with every class in the school, and each class has a fixed day and a fixed time. Ours is always 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoons, immediately after lunch. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Miss Trunchbull will be taking over for me for one lesson. I shall be here as well, of course, but only as a silent witness. Is that understood?" "Yes, Miss Honey," they chirped. "A word of warning for you all," Miss Honey said. "The headmistress is very strict about everything. Make sure your clothes are clean, your faces are clean, and your hands are clean. Speak only when spoken to. When she asks you a question, stand up at once before you answer it. Never argue with her. Never answer back. Never try to be funny. If you do, you will make her angry. And when the headmistress gets angry, you had better watch out." "You can say that again," Lavender murmured. "I'm quite sure," Miss Honey said, "that she will be testing you on what you are meant to learn this week, which is your 2 times tables. So I strongly advise you to swat it up when you get home tonight," meaning to study it up. "Get your mother or father to hear you on it." So here's Miss Honey talking to the class. "What else will she test us on?" someone asked. "Spelling," Miss Honey said. "Try to remember everything you have learned these last few days. And one more thing. A jug of water and glass must always be on the table here when the headmistress comes in. She never takes a lesson without that. Now, who will be responsible for seeing that it's here?" "Oh, I will," Lavender said at once. "Very well, Lavender," Miss Honey said. "It will be your job to go to the kitchen and get the jug and fill it with water and put it on the table here with a clean empty glass just before the lesson starts." "What if the jug's not in the kitchen?" Lavender asked. "Well, there are a dozen headmistresses' jugs and glasses in the kitchen," Miss Honey said. "They are used all over the school." "Oh, I won't forget," Lavender said. "I promise I won't." Already, Lavender's scheming mind was going over the possibilities that this water jug job had opened up for her. She had longed to do something heroic. She admired the older girl, Horatia, to distraction for her daring deeds she had performed in the school. She also admired Matilda, who had sworn her to secrecy about the parrot job she had brought off to her home. Remember when Matilda put the parrot in her parents' house? Yeah, if you don't remember, go ahead and take a look for Matilda online. You can definitely check it out. But hopefully you remember what she did with that parrot. All right. And also the great hair oil switch that had bleached her father's hair. It was her turn now to be a heroine, if only she could come up with a brilliant plot. On the way home from school that afternoon, she began to mull over the various possibilities, and when at last the germ of a brilliant idea hit her, she began to expand on it and lay her plans with the same kind of care the Duke of Wellington had done before the Battle of Waterloo. Admittedly, the enemy of the occasion was not Napoleon, but you would never have heard of anyone at Crunchem Hall to admit that the headmistress was less of a formidable foe than the famous Frenchman. So that whole section they're talking about, Napoleon's a very famous French figure, and he was this big, awful guy that people would try to beat, and they would never beat him. So now they're saying that, Miss Trunchbull is now even a greater person to try to beat than this Napoleon character. There was a great skill who would have to be exercised to beat Miss Trunchbull. Lavender told herself that this great secrecy observed if she was to come out with this exploit alive, meaning that she would have to keep this a secret if she was able to pull it off. There was a muddy pond at the bottom of Lavender's garden, and this was the home of a colony of newts. The newt, although fairly common in English ponds, is not often seen by ordinary people because it is shy and a murky creature. It is an incredibly ugly, gruesome-looking animal, rather like a baby crocodile with a shorter head. It is quite harmless but doesn't look like it. It is about 6 inches long and very slimy, with a greenish-gray skin on top and an orange-colored belly underneath. It is, in fact, an amphibian which can live in or out of water. I love that great description. So she's looking at this newt. I wonder what she's going to do with it. That evening, Lavender went to the bottom of the garden determined to catch a newt. They are swiftly moving animals and not easy to get a hold of. She laid on the bank for a long time, waiting patiently until she spotted a whopper. Then, using her school hat as a net, she swooped it and caught it. She had lined her pencil box with pondweed, ready to receive the creature, but she discovered that it was not easy to get the newt out of the hat and into the pencil box. It wiggled and squirmed like quicksilver, and apart from that, the box was only just long enough to take it. When she did get it in it at last, she had to be careful not to trap its tail in the lid when she had to slit it close. A boy next door called Rupert Entwistle had told her that if you chopped off a newt's tail, the tail stayed alive and grew into another newt 10 times bigger than the first one. It would be the size of an alligator. Lavender didn't quite believe that, but she was not prepared to risk that happening. Eventually, she managed to slide the lid of the pencil box right home, and the newt was hers. Then, on second thought, she opened the lid just the tiniest fraction so the creature could breathe. The next day, she carried her secret weapon to school in her satchel. She was tingling with excitement. She was longing to tell Matilda about her whole plan of battle. In fact, she wanted to tell the whole class, but she finally decided to tell nobody. It was better that way, because then no one, even when put under most severe torture, would be able to name the culprit of who did this. Lunchtime came, today with sausages and baked beans, Lavender's favorite, but she couldn't eat. I wonder why she couldn't eat. Do you think it's because she's nervous that she might get caught? So here's Lavender. She's trying to grab that newt. Oh, no. Are you feeling all right, Lavender? Miss Honey asked her from the head of the table. I had a huge breakfast, Lavender said. I really couldn't eat a thing. Immediately after lunch, she dashed off to the kitchen and found one of the Trunchbull's famous jugs. It was a large, bulging thing made of blue glazed pottery. Lavender filled it half full of water and carried it, together with a glass, into the classroom and set it on the teacher's table. The classroom was still empty. Quick as a flash, Lavender got her pencil box from her satchel and slid open the lid just a tiny bit. The newt was lying quite still. With great care she held the box over the neck of the jug and pulled the lid fully open and tipped the newt in. There was a plop as it landed in the water. Then it thrashed around wildly for a few seconds before settling down. And now, to make the newt feel more at home, Lavender decided to give it the pondweed from the pencil box as well. She put the newt in Miss Trunchable's jug. Oh no, what do you think's gonna happen? Oh. The deed was done. All was ready. Lavender put her pencils back into the rather damp pencil box and returned it to the correct place on her own desk. Then she went out and joined the others in the playground until it was time for the lesson to begin. And that's the end of the chapter. Look at Lavender. She's putting that newt, you can kind of see its tail right there, okay, into the jug. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh, what a great cliffhanger. All right, guys. So we're going to stop there. The next chapter is called The Weekly Test, which means, Miss Trunchable's coming. I wonder if she's going to drink that newt. I wonder if she's going to freak out if she sees it. Is she going to be afraid? I don't know. Well, I guess you'll have to tune in next time to find out. All right, guys. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow at our Zoom chat. And we can chat all about what's going on right now. I know Governor Whitmer probably is going to announce something a little bit later, or you probably already know at this point. And so we'll talk a little bit more Friday about that. Just remember, we can only control what we can, and focus on your circle of control. And remember to be kind to people. That's, I think, our biggest thing, right, Thomas? We want to make sure people are kind. Yes, so make sure you're out there being kind to your mom and dad. Hopefully you're working on those thank you letters to those people that are going above and beyond during this time. And I hope you know that I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you hopefully again soon. And I know Thomas, who's right here, he definitely misses you too. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye.